Hello and welcome back to the English Talking Today podcast. I'm William, and I'm excited to have you join me today. In this episode, we are going to dive into something incredibly useful for your everyday English. We'll be learning 70 essential sentences that people use all the time in their daily lives. These are sentences you can use in a variety of situations, such as when you meet new people, go shopping, travel, or even in an emergency. Learning these sentences is a crucial step in becoming a more fluent and confident English speaker. When you know these phrases, you don't have to spend time and energy trying to construct a sentence in your head. This allows you to speak more quickly and naturally. It's like having a set of shortcuts in your brain that you can access instantly. These are the same sentences that native speakers use, which will help you sound more authentic and confident. Confidence is a big factor for many English learners who may feel shy or nervous about making mistakes. By using these ready-made sentences, you can eliminate that fear because you know the sentence is already correct. Another great benefit is that many of these sentences are versatile and can be used in multiple contexts. For instance, the phrase "Could you help me, please?" is useful in a wide range of situations, from asking for assistance at an airport to getting help with your computer. The more ready-made sentences you learn, the more you can speak without hesitation, without translating in your head, and without feeling nervous. We will explore 70 of these powerful sentences. To get the most out of this episode, I recommend you don't just repeat each sentence after me. Say them out loud and visualize the situation where you would use them. This technique will help the sentences stick in your memory for a longer period. By the end of this episode, you will have 70 ready-to-use sentences in your English toolkit. Get ready to make your English sound more natural and confident. Let's begin with our first group, greetings and introductions. These are the foundational sentences you use when you meet someone for the first time or when you see a friend, family member, or colleague. They may seem simple, but they are vital for creating a friendly and positive start to any conversation. I will present each sentence, explain its use. Our first sentence is, "Hi, how are you?" This is the most common greeting in English and can be used with anyone. A typical response would be, "I'm fine, thank you," or "I'm good." The second sentence is, "Hello, nice to meet you." This is a polite and friendly way to greet someone you're meeting for the very first time. The other person will usually respond with "Nice to meet you, too." The third is "Good morning," which is used before 12:00 p.m. and is appropriate for both formal and informal situations. Good afternoon is used after 12 p.m. until the early evening, and good evening is used after the sun goes down and is also considered polite in formal settings. If you haven't seen someone for a while, you can use the phrase, "How have you been?" This shows you're interested in how they've been doing recently. To introduce someone, you can say, "This is my friend, Sarah." And in a more formal or professional setting, you can introduce yourself by saying, "May I introduce myself? I'm William." Remember that how you deliver these sentences is important. Smiling, making eye contact, and speaking clearly will make your greetings feel warm and friendly. Next, we'll cover sentences for asking for help and information. These are incredibly useful when you're in an unfamiliar place, traveling, or just need to ask for something. The most polite and simple way to ask for help is, "Can you help me, please?" You can use this anywhere, in a shop, on the street, or at a bus station. If you're looking for a specific location, you could ask, "Could you tell me where the bank is?" Alternatively, you can use "Excuse me, do you know the way to the train station?" when asking for directions. When you need to know the schedule for an event, movie, or public transportation, you can ask, "What time does it start?" If you're looking for an object or service, a good question is, "Do you know where I can find a pharmacy?" And if you're in a new area and looking for something like a grocery store, you can ask, "Is there a supermarket near here?" If someone is speaking too fast or you don't understand something, you can politely ask them to clarify by saying, "Could you explain that, please?" Or "Can you speak more slowly, please?" Always remember to start with "excuse me" or "please" to sound polite, as people are more willing to help when you are. Now let's move on to sentences for daily routines. These sentences are perfect for talking about the things you do every day, such as waking up, eating, and working. Being able to discuss your daily life in English makes it much easier to have conversations with friends, classmates, or colleagues. I'll give you a few examples of these sentences. You can say, "I usually wake up at 7 a.m. and adjust the time to fit your own schedule." To describe your morning routine, you might say, "I brush my teeth after breakfast." When talking about your commute, you can say, "I go to work by bus and change the mode of transport to car or on foot." You can also share your meal times with "I have lunch at 1 p.m. and tell someone about your work schedule with "I finish work at 5 o'clock. For evening activities, you can say, "I usually go for a walk in the evening," or "I usually read in the evening." To talk about your evening meal, you can use the phrase, "I have dinner with my family." And to let someone know your bedtime, you can say, "I go to bed at 10 p.m. These are great, clear sentences for talking about your daily life. Feel free to mix and match them, change the times, and use different activities to make them your own. Talking about your daily routines is an excellent way to practice English because it's something you do every single day, so you'll have plenty of opportunities to use these sentences. Next, we'll learn sentences for shopping and ordering food. Whether you're buying clothes, groceries, or a meal at a restaurant, these sentences will help you sound clear, polite, and confident. The most common way to ask about the price of an item is, "How much does this cost?" If you're in a clothing store and want to try something on, you can ask, "Can I try this on?" And if the size isn't right, you can say, "Do you have this in a different size?" When you've decided to buy something, you can simply say, "I'll take this, please." In a cafe or restaurant, you can politely ask to see the list of food and drinks by saying, "Could I see the menu, please?" When you're ready to order, a polite way to do so is to say, "I'd like a coffee, please," and you can easily change the item to what you want to order. When you're finished with your meal and ready to pay, you can say, "Could we have the bill, please?" Or in the US, "Could we have the check, please?" Lastly, to find out if the tip has already been added, you can ask, "Is service included?" When you're shopping or ordering food, a polite attitude and using words like please and thank you can make your experience much more pleasant. Now let's move on to sentences for travel and transportation. These are very helpful when you're in a new city or country. They will assist you in asking for directions, buying tickets, and finding your way around easily. When you need to buy a ticket, you can ask, "Where can I buy a ticket?" This works for a bus station, train station, or airport. To find out the cost of a ticket, you can say, "How much is a ticket to London?" If you need to know the departure time of a bus, train, or plane, you can ask, "What time does the bus leave?" And to find out the duration of the journey, you would say, "How long will it take to get there?" To double-check if you're on the right bus, you can ask, "Is this the right bus for the airport?" If you need a taxi, you can politely ask someone to call one for you by saying, "Could you call a taxi for me, please?" When you're on a train and need to confirm if it stops at your destination, you can ask, "Does this train stop at Oxford?" And to find the closest place to catch a bus, you would say, "Where is the nearest bus stop?" These sentences are especially important when you're in an unfamiliar place. Remember to speak clearly and use polite words like please and thank you. And don't be afraid to ask for help, as most people are happy to assist travelers. Next, we'll cover sentences for socializing and small talk. These are the sentences that help you start friendly conversations, keep them going, and build connections with people. Small talk is essential for building relationships and making you feel comfortable around others. A friendly way to ask someone about their day is, "How's your day going?" If someone tells you something interesting, you can respond with, "That's interesting." To learn about someone's hobbies, you could ask, "What do you do in your free time?" Giving a compliment is a great way to be friendly, and a simple way to do that is to say, "I like your jacket." To spark a conversation about entertainment, you can ask, "Have you seen any good movies lately?" The weather is a common and safe topic for small talk, so you can say, "The weather is really nice today." To end a conversation politely, you can say, "It was great talking to you." If you want to talk to the person again in the future, you can say, "Let's keep in touch." Small talk doesn't need to be deep or serious. It's simply a way to be friendly and build connections. A smile, eye contact, and a warm tone will make these sentences even more effective. Finally, we'll learn some very important sentences for emergencies and other crucial situations. While I hope you never have to use them, it's always best to know them just in case. In an emergency, It's vital to speak clearly and directly so people can understand you quickly. If you need immediate assistance, you can say, "I need help right now." If someone is sick or injured and needs medical attention, you should say, "Call an ambulance, please." In a dangerous situation, like a crime or safety threat, you would say, "Call the police, please." If you are lost and can't find your way, you can say, "I'm lost. Can you help me?" If you or someone else needs medical assistance, you can say, "I need a doctor." If you see a fire, you can warn others by shouting, "There's a fire." If you're in trouble and need someone to contact your family, you can say, "Please contact my family." And if you need to find a hospital for urgent medical care, you can ask, "Where is the nearest hospital?" Remember that in these serious situations, it is essential to speak slowly and clearly so people understand exactly what you need. In a country where English isn't the primary language, it would also be wise to learn these sentences in the local language. Alright, do you think this video helpful? Then please leave a subscribe, like, and share to your friends. We have covered a lot today. You have now learned useful sentences for many everyday situations, including greetings, asking for help, daily routines, shopping, traveling, socializing, and even emergencies. The key to improving your English is consistent practice. Try to use these sentences in your daily life, say them out loud, and listen to how native speakers use them. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, as learning English is a journey, and every step you take makes you a better and more confident speaker. Keep practicing, and soon you'll find yourself speaking more naturally and easily. Thank you for joining me today. I hope these sentences help you feel ready to speak English every day. I'll see you in the next episode. Keep learning and stay confident.